What's up, everybody? I'm Bo Tillman. I got Nick Fowble here in the booth with me.
What's up, everybody?
We're going to do a little commentary here on the second part of the 405 Grudge Match. We got two fantastic golfers going to try to settle their little beef they got going. We are out at Dolese Park in Oklahoma City. This is actually during a sanctioned league that we run out there every Wednesday. So kind of got a cool little time lapse of all the people coming in and out, and kind of show you what we do on Wednesdays up there. Who do we got playing today, Nick?
That is Gavin Ossenkop from Norman, Oklahoma.
He looks familiar.
Yeah, man, he's a good golfer, just recently 1,000 rated. He's going to be two ahead of this guy, Coda Hatfield, also from the 405 OKC area. And Discraft sponsors him, and he's a great golfer and a great guy. And this should be a great round we have here at Dolese. Jump right into it, man. Hole one.
Hole 194 feet. This is kind of a newer pin placement. Usually the basket's over there to the left, but it's been in there for a few months, so everybody's pretty much used to it. You got that cable right behind it that plays out of bounds. Looks like we got, 60, 70 mile per hour winds blowing. We got Gavin stepping up, champion gator.
Definitely.
He's just going to throw this little chip hyzer. The only thing you got to worry about is it's skipping up and blowing out of bounds if the wind's really blowing, because it's pretty much always blowing left to right.
Yeah.
On this hole.
Good shot.
Yep. That's all you want. You just don't want to throw it out of bounds. If you don't throw it out of bounds, you're going to birdie this hole 98% of the time when you have these guys' skills.
A must get is what we call it.
A real must get. You got Hatfield throwing the forehand. Obviously, that's the bigger gap, but like I said, when the wind's really up, that thing can do something wild and
what a roll.
Skip or jump or roll out. But that one doesn't.
Or it could roll to it.
Could also roll to it.
Look at the spin on that one. That was good.
And probably spun 2-3 times. It's really saucing it for Gavin.
I wonder if he watched the last video.
Oh, I know he did.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, I know he did. We got nothing but positive feedback from the last video.
Oh,
if you haven't seen that, go to Aces High Disc Golf on YouTube. Check it out. Actually, you probably should pause this right now and go over there and look at it.
Like and subscribe is what we say.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to do that anytime you see
I'm subscribed.
Frisbee
Are
on
you
YouTube.
subscribed?
Absolutely.
I don't believe you have a
Anytime
YouTube
you see
account.
disc golf on YouTube, just give them a like, give them a subscribe.
Well, after hole one, Bo, we got the tied score at 1 down, which is what we all pretty much planned. Jumping into hole 2. Now, the baskets, what are they, alternates?
This is like the long layout / alternate / the tougher of the 2 pin placements on every hole.
So technically it's longs on this hole, about 392.
Yeah, you can see the short pin right there in that little orange bucket.
Yeah, we just passed over it there. There's a line up the middle, which they'll probably take. There's another left-handed line, maybe a forehand line off to the left that you can skip up there if you have enough power. And then, these guys are probably just going to flip up something, let it and hyzer all the way there.
Yep, so you want to throw it like Gavin, just a lot better and maybe harder
lower
towards the basket. But that same shape, you want to kind of force it over left to right out of your hand, and you got to beat that last tree with the 2 trunks coming up. You got to beat that to the right and then get that late finish to get up to the basket. It's all really hard and skippy up there.
He's probably about 150 out. That's in his jump punt range right there, I believe.
I'm going to call that's a tap-in 3.
Right, you are, Ken.
Hatfield. We don't have notes for this round for the the disc selection, so we're just going to make our most educated guess. I'm going to say that this is a crank.
Backhand roller?
Oh,
Yes.
Is it a roller?
Yes.
Okay, then it's probably not a crank. Sorry, Hatfield.
No. Cranks don't roll. And
That's a great
pin
shot.
high.
That's about as good as not as good as you could ask for, but I guarantee you he'd take that 10 out of 10 times.
Look at this. Told you range.
He is in range. Wow, I thought he hit that tree way earlier.
That's when it
So
happens when you throw hard.
he's probably 80 feet, probably into a little bit of headwind.
I'm going to say 100.
It doesn't look like it's blowing quite as bad as it did in that drone flyover.
Anheuser, come back. Oof.
Yeah, he gave
Good
it a
putt.
good run.
Good putt.
Look, everyone's probably talking to him, and he can't even hear him.
I'm going to say it's Beastie Boys today.
You think so?
Yep, I'm gonna go with Beastie Boys. I don't think it's country.
Well,
He's up in the city life. He's feeling some uppity music today.
Well, you're not going to like this. I actually asked him.
Oh, boy.
Jason Aldean.
No way.
Can you believe it?
I can't.
Believe it. So
Big green tractor, probably?
right here where Coda's drive ended up, he's probably 45 maybe. Wide open look. If you can get an open look without that low ceiling in the way, then you're happy on this hole. Let's see how the putter's feeling today.
That's a Luna, right? Ooh,
That's a Challenger.
that's a
OS.
Challenger. Okay. I can't
OS
remember
or
last
SS.
time.
It's one of the two because I know that you were wrong in the first video.
I was wrong
Once
on 2
again,
holes.
Go back, check out that one. If you haven't, Nick was wrong in a lot of it. It's great.
Yeah.
So Hatfield maybe 18 feet to clean it up for the par.
It's up. It's good.
Yep, looks good. Good confident stroke.
How about those baskets, though?
Those baskets look great, don't they?
Shout out to Dewey.
Shout out to Sean and Mark Overstake. Shout out to everybody else that donated for the baskets themselves. Sean and Mark actually donated the wraps that are on the top.
Oh, man.
And I think it definitely
Those
makes
are
the
slick.
course look a lot better.
Well, after 2, still even. 2 pars on the second hole.
Yeah, that's a tough birdie. And
Yeah.
it's pretty rare you see any birdies
Look at that fairway.
this time of year because it's always straight into the wind. That'll give you
And
a
we're
little,
here.
a little feel of the rough out at Dolese Park.
Oh, boy.
Oh, this one's great.
I haven't seen this place.
This is actually the third pin placement on this hole.
Beautiful.
It's fairly new, so not everybody has really dialed it in yet.
How far
So
was
this
that?
ought to be good. It said 368,
Oh, boy.
and it's a weird distance
He's gonna try
as you feel like you throw it about 200 feet, but then it feels like it plays about 400 feet at the
Yeah.
same time. Gav's just going with the easy layup. He doesn't even want to mess with it.
I can't even see that. Oh, boy. He got caught early.
We tried for the easy layup. Now he's going to wish that he just went for it. If you're going to be in the woods, you might as well be in the woods
So
next to the basket.
This is probably that same Frisbee he just rolled. I don't know
I
what
think
that
you're right.
is.
Oh, I can almost see it.
I mean, how flippy are Hades?
Hades is a high-speed
Oh,
disc.
look at that.
That is not a Hades. That's a great shot,
That's
though.
Yeah, it gives him a look.
That's really good.
Yeah.
You can see how small that little bottleneck is right there. So it's pretty common to be in some rough at least a little bit.
So this
But-
is Gavin's favorite spot to be.
If you can just shove your foot in anywhere up there by the basket, you are loving it. Wow.
Look at that.
That was an awesome shot.
Great shot. I bet the crowd
Not only
went
does
wild.
Gavin not throw forehand very often, but
Look, he's so pumped.
to
He
be
said-
able to do it out of some stuff like that and put it that close, that's awesome.
He probably said, I didn't want it though forehand. I wanted it back in a rock.
Well, he's
That
going
was
to be
great.
glad that he threw the forehand.
I mean, it looked like it worked out.
Hatfield with another forehand. That tree's kind of in his way to really get a good regular putt.
Little nick off the back.
Yeah, that's a tough birdie. I think I've seen maybe 5 or 6 birdies on this hole in the last 2 months or so.
Good putt.
That's a great par. This one almost plays like a par 4, I think. If you looked at the scoring averages, I
Yeah.
would almost guarantee, actually, that it plays closer to a par 4 than it does a par 3.
Rock on.
I like it. A little shout out to Nathan Queen, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know what that was. We're going to say that to Hades for now.
I think it's going to be more
I
like
don't-
an Avenger SS or a Heat or something like that.
Okay. Another par from both these guys.
Yeah, like I said, that's like a maybe a half birdie or so.
158. This is actually one of my favorite holes. I'm not very good at it, but it's a fun hole. 158. Is it on the pyramid or is it on the?
It is on the pyramid.
Okay,
That's
I love
the
that.
alternate
I
placement.
love that
And it's
placement.
funny you say you're not very good at it because this
It's
is
a
like
perfect
the
hole for a lefty.
only hole on the
It's-
course
yeah,
that
it's-
strictly calls for either a righty forehand or
Right.
lefty backhand.
Right, you are.
Your only play on this hole is to throw the forehand just
Like
up and to
this.
the left of that big cedar tree. You got to kind of go over this big island of bushes, and then obviously you got that elevated pin.
You can't see the basket, so it's. I mean. Ooh.
But Gavin's
And
feeling.
then you.
Yeah,
get a
Gavin's
bad
feeling the
skip.
forehand after that shot off of hole 3. That one looked really good.
That's
And that's kind of the part of this hole is They got all those railroad ties all around the basket, and it's like the closer you throw it, the further it can go away because they take some crazy reactions off that wood.
That looks like it's crashing well.
Playing a little wider. That's kind of how you take the railroad ties out. You can tell he's played here a lot.
Has he?
Yeah, I don't know.
A few times?
Yeah, if you haven't.
Oof, that one barely stuck.
If you haven't
Nice
paid
putt by
attention in the
Gavin.
video before, Coda's been playing for a long time. Longer than Gavin's been alive, for sure.
I didn't watch that
I think
video.
he said like mid-90s is whenever he started playing. So he's been playing since he was really, really young.
Good putt.
Yep, that's a good star frame.
Better
Good putt
drive.
from Gavin. It's good to see that he still got his birdie off of kind of a bad break off the drive. It's cool.
Yeah.
We still got the little gallery following us too.
100%.
Shout out Turner Swink. Shout out Andrew Machinsky.
Yeah, and we also had 2 more people on the card too. It was Isaiah and
John Amos.
John Amos.
Yeah, like I said, this is part of a PDGA league, so
Yeah.
you got to have at least 3 people on the card. So we went ahead and just made them a regular 4 card, and just filmed these guys' shots.
Yeah.
Hole 5.
Great guys, great golfers.
One of the new changes on the course, we just shoved the pin back into these trees.
That's a good hole.
It's a great hole.
I like that a lot.
You got kind of 3 shot choices. You got this left shot that Gavin's gonna throw.
That's a PD,
That is a PD.
and it's beautiful.
He's going to have to really rip over on that to get it to hold. The wind's always blowing right to left here off that lake.
And it looks like he's probably going to be cut off.
That's
on the
fine.
next
He's
shot.
out in the middle. You can
You
see
think
him.
so?
Yeah, you can see him
Looked
throwing
like he
in
went
on
in
my
the tree
card
line.
that was just walking off, but I'm not going to hold any grudges. And then, this is kind of the more common play, I think, if you're just trying to play it for a 3. This is another one of those kind of par 3.5s. It's really tough to get up there and either put yourself centered in that gap or penetrate the trees and get onto the actual green to even have a look at 2. So,
He's just going big hyzer, right?
yep, he's going to go big hyzer all the way around this
Big.
tree.
Oh,
Like I
boy.
said, you
That's
always
over
got
water,
a
too.
good right to left wind. And I mean, this is
Look
just
at that.
how wide do you want to take it playing lawn darts.
That's most time aloft.
Yep, that's perfect. That's right next to Gavin. Just 2 different ways to get there. But yeah, I like that big hyzer
Okay.
shot on the hole because all you have to do is just think about throw it hard and throw it wide. That's it.
So is
Not many
399
angles on
accurate for this hole?
I think 399 is probably about right. But like I said, the shape of the hole with all the trees and stuff, and then the wind that's always playing
Right.
off that lake
Right off
makes
the water?
makes it play a heck of a lot longer.
Yeah.
We got both of them throwing Scooby, or was Hatfield's just a
Looked like
regular hyzer?
He looked like he didn't like that, but it
I
turned
think
out
that
great.
was just I think he thought it was going to go in because that looked awesome to me.
Yeah.
But I think Gav threw a little Scooby, which is perfect. Just any kind of up and over if you're not just dead center in the gap where you can actually throw a regular putt.
Good looking cameraman back there.
Better than how Gavin looked going to get that putter.
Oh boy. A little sportsmanship.
You'll love to see it. Hatfield's got 8 feet for his kind of half birdie again. If you can hole 3 and this hole, I think that should definitely count as 1 stroke under par. I wouldn't mind seeing a par 3.5 out here,
Oh yeah. Well, after hole 5, still all tied up.
And I mean, that's
Yeah.
maybe 1 hole away. I'm sure that they wish that they could have got hole 2. That's probably the easiest hole of those 3 pars that they share. But I mean, that's
those
kind of a dream start. If you can not have any 4s and have a couple 2s sprinkled in there,
Yeah.
going into this little stretch, this is where you want to start getting your 2s.
A little 330.
Hole 6, 330 feet.
Yeah.
You got kind of 2 shots. You got like the big left to right shot. You can either throw a big turnover, big forehand.
That's a
Kinda
big forehand.
over that cedar tree that you see glistening in the sun.
Yeah. Gavin's
Or-
going turnover, I assume. Yep. Look like he.
That's a rock?
Kind of. No. That's his bottom stamp destroyer, if I had to guess.
I think that's a rock. Catches the big tree. That's the problem with the big turnover. You can see that gap right there in between that big tree and the kind of the edge of those bushes is about maybe 20 feet wide.
Yeah.
So you have to throw that big turnover and get it to pan out perfect right in that 20-foot gap, or you're going to be 60 feet. There's another little kind of more direct inside line. It's just like a force over.
Mm-hmm. Is he rolling this?
Is he? Nope, he's
Oh,
going to
no,
throw that
it's just
inside line.
Zeus, right?
See? Easy little
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
flex.
Skip.
Kind of a weird skip. Usually you'll get a pretty good skip right there, but that's fine.
Yeah.
He threw the shape that he wanted to throw for sure. He was just a little short.
Little birdie putt. Ooh.
Gator.
Just laying up with the gator.
Yeah.
Good run.
That's how you can tell that he had no intentions of making that one.
He remembered him hitting that tree in the first round. He said, no, thank you. I don't want none of that tree.
We got Hatfield from, 50?
Yeah, I'd say 50. Right in his range, I believe.
Oh, he thought I was in for a split second. They look good,
Just a
though.
little left. Yeah, looked great.
That's the range that if he starts warming up from that range, then it's going to be a long day for Gavin. But same thing goes for Gavin. Gavin is young, but he can definitely catch fire. Whenever he
100%.
does, he is tough to beat.
Yes. Yep. Just gonna hurry up and tap in. Maybe
Yep. Easy little par here.
a little pep in your step, bud.
They're probably a little disappointed that they didn't get this one, but it's not the end of the world.
I wonder if John and Isaiah birdied that one, because that's a pretty cool hole. You know, I usually go big sidearm, or not sidearm, left-handed hyzer over the left side, and it doesn't work out very well. But yeah, after 6, still tied, 2 down, going into hole 7, 257.
This is the hardest 257-foot hole you'll ever play.
Yeah, it looks it. I mean, look at that fairway. Wow. And wait for it. And we're out. Okay, now you're going to go off to the right. Oh, I haven't seen this placement.
That's where the regular long pin is, that bucket we just passed. This is the new
Ooh.
long placement.
That's awesome.
This is something.
Look at those designs on the basket. That's pretty nice.
We get Gav going backhand rock.
Just some rock.
I wish that I could give you like a really good sounding breakdown of this hole, but there's not really a whole lot of aiming to it. You're just trying to get under that cedar, really, and then beat a bunch of trees.
That's what I was thinking about. I'm like,
See,
what
yeah,
shot
there
do you
you go.
shoot
You can
here?
kind of see, and like the shot shape that's needed right there.
Yeah.
I mean, literally has to go through maybe a disc width gap
And
to actually like
it's-
get all the way up there.
It's got to be a skipper or something, too.
But shout out John Amos, who's on this card, has 2 of the 3 birdies I've ever seen on this hole.
Really? What does he do?
See, that one looks good. It's just too high. But any lower, and it can't skip to the basket. So, I don't know. You're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
So
on
if he
this
was
hole.
lower, that wasn't going to the basket. Oh, wow.
He would have
look
been
at that.
40, maybe. And who knows? He might have had a wall of trees in front of him. But it's definitely uphill. You can kind of see on this view. It's probably up a maybe 6-7 foot incline. Maybe not that much. Maybe like 4 or 5 foot incline. But it definitely plays uphill because those ceilings
Right.
can really get in your way.
But like I was saying, you hate to hear it, but, you know, good layup there, Gavin.
This is another par 3.5. I mean, what are they supposed to do? They both threw pretty good drives.
I thought he was going to throw
And
another one.
They were left with absolutely nothing. So, kind of lame. Not a whole lot of separation here.
Both happening for 3.
Yep, another tap in,
Yeah.
star par,
Yeah.
which is okay. Still no 4s on the card yet. That's pretty good. Getting through 7 holes with these pin placements, no 4s.
Yeah.
And as thick as this rough is right now.
Looks smooth. Shout
Oh,
out
great.
to Coda.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
After hole 7, still tied. I mean, another par.
No bogeys on the card.
That's a good
Can't
card.
really ask for much better.
Going into hole 8. This is a must get, I would assume, for a righty, right?
Yeah, this is definitely the easiest hole they've played in a while. All it is, big spike hyzer, where you can play big spike hyzer over those trees, or you can play low kind of penetrating hyzer under those trees. But you just play it out there, get it to hyzer into that gap one way or another. I'm going to guess that they're going to go high. I think it makes it a little bit easier, and you got that big backstop behind it. You don't have to beat near as many trees. You just got to throw over one tree.
Yeah. It plays like a funnel somehow, too. It's
Yeah,
just the
it
magic of
definitely does.
Dolese.
The wind's always going right to left
Yeah.
here.
Just right.
Kind of a bunch
Bam.
of big trees just left of the pin.
Just like that.
That's fine. But there is a huge downhill behind the pin that I've seen some not hit anything or, magically fly through the tree like Frisbees like to do. And
that's a 4.
be 60, 70, 80 feet down that hill.
It's way down there. can hear the wind.
You can definitely see it's blowing now. This is kind of just behind and to the right, to his right of Coda right now is that big lake that we saw on hole 5. So the wind's always ripping right
Just
here.
gusting.
It looks like he's
That's
trying to
wide.
he's going for the low shot.
Little skip. Oh, he threw it hard.
Pushed it a little deep. It's easy to do with that right to left, and it's usually kind of a little bit at your back, so you don't want to throw too overstable and just die too soon. So you try to disc down maybe one click, and all of a sudden you flip up and go deep.
He's still in pretty good range, probably 35 feet.
Yeah, 35 or so. He's got a real low ceiling. You can't really tell from this angle,
Oh, yeah,
but
that cedar tree.
he's got
right
a pretty
there.
low ceiling under that cedar. It's cut maybe 6 feet high.
He needs this.
Yeah, Gavin's sitting 25 feet wide open.
Oh.
Oh, see, there's the ceiling. It's always just a little bit lower because and I'm sure that he had a 15-mile-an-hour tailwind on that putt too, and with nothing but death behind it. So I mean, that's a good putt. If you get it up high enough, I would say you committed to it at least.
Yeah, look at that back there. It just looks like the abyss. Oh, and a spit out from Gavin is a little high.
That wasn't a spit out at all.
Okay.
Whoa,
Opinions vary.
what's happening here? That putt was high and left. He threw it centered, but that wind, I'm telling you, the wind is ripping through there all the time. I don't care if the trees are moving or not. I've played there enough to know that if it's not windy anywhere else, it's windy on this hole.
Nice smooth form from Gavin for a backhand. Will get him
that was a
another
good
3.
drive. That's all you could really ask for.
Yeah, another 3 from Coda as well. Going into hole 9, which is one of my personal favorites. I like this hole. It's beautiful, right next to the road. About 414 over the creek. Is this one moved, though, or is it in the same position?
This one is in the long position.
Long
across
position.
the OB little concrete river we got right here.
Yeah.
414 is probably about right.
Yeah.
It's a pump to get it up there. Usually playing almost directly into the wind. Low ceiling to beat pretty much all the way through the hole.
Is concrete OB?
Concrete is OB. The concrete that runs through the
road,
middle of the fairway,
yeah.
and that steel cable that runs around the park boundary.
That makes the green
that's the
pretty
OB
tough.
line here.
That looks
see,
like a
the
rock.
ceiling doesn't look low, but you can see that branch that Gavin just flew under barely. You can see that branch is there, and every shot that looks like it's going to the pin, that's what it hits.
Yep.
This is a great hole. I think Hatfield usually goes roller here
He's lining it up.
with that mystery disc, that Heat SS.
Mm-hmm.
Gets it down. There's a low ceiling right off the tee,
there
too.
it
The
is.
roller's
There it
tough.
is. Slow down, kick out.
That's good.
Yeah. Hopefully it didn't go in there
I was
too
actually
deep.
on that other card right there, and I got a spoiler for you that it hit something and stayed right there on the edge. So that's like best case scenario.
Way to ruin it for the viewers.
Gavin, Gator,
Probably.
good.
Good. Gator, good.
Look at him with the putt right there.
Yeah, that rolled in there really hot for it to only be about 3 feet in there, you know.
You got to play your percentages. That stuff is so thick that I feel like that's the higher percentage, is that it's not going to roll in there.
Putting at a busy street on a knee,
Ooh.
hits face mask.
Yeah, that's a tough putt.
That's a good putt. What was that, 35 still?
Yep, 35 from a knee, around a bush,
That's
in
a
the
good putt.
wind, OB behind the basket. It's like if you were making a checklist for things you don't want on a putt.
Did you see that handsome fella?
Never heard of her. Gavin with the flopper, in for 3.
Good putt.
Hatfield with the perfect form on the 3.
Perfect form. Nice spin. All right. Well, that concludes the front 9 at Dolese Youth Park. It's super exciting and nail biter here. We're tied at 2 down. What do you think about that there, Bo?
That might look like a lot of 3s, but a lot of these holes are really tough in these pin placements. So if you've ever played this course before, then you can kind of appreciate the bogey freeness and the caliber of golf these guys are playing.
Right.
So you can come find us for the back 9. It'll be right here on Aces High Disc Golf. Go check them out on YouTube. Obviously you are. Give them a like. Give them a subscribe. Yeah, and we'll see you there. We're going to
Back
play
9
us out
action.
with some Innova Disc Golf action.